During Dana White's post-fight press conference, he shed some light on the UFC potentially signing Patricio Pitbull and Aaron Pico, two former Bellator fighters. Now, when asked about Pitbull, Dana said, "I don't know, I'll talk to the boys and we'll see where we're at." Pitbull is 37 years old and former two-weight Bellator champion. It's a short-term signing, but it's a refreshing one, right? Don't you think? Would you like to see Patricio Pitbull in the UFC? Question is, which division would he fight in? I personally think that he'd be better suited at lightweight at his point in his career. And there are people at the top of that division who need fresh opponents. Your Dustin Poiriers, your Justin Gaethjes, your Charles Oliveira's, even Max Holloway, etc. They all need fresh guys. Okay, Gaethje versus Hooker is a fresh fight. I'll give you that. But still, let's add someone else into the mix, right? Now, when asked about Aaron Pico, this is a different answer. Dana White said, "I definitely know the boys are interested in him." And the journalist who asked the question said something about exclusivity with the UFC in terms of negotiations. So I'm fairly confident the UFC can get this deal over the line. Pico is 28 years old. 9 of his 13 wins are by knockout. And his style is very similar to Ilia Topuria. I think, anyway. Pico was Ilia Topuria before Ilia Topuria came onto the scene. He was the American Ilia Topuria. It's just, he was dealt with some bad matchups at Bellator at such a young age, and it kind of hindered his development a bit. He was training with Freddie Roach on his boxing, and he was helping TJ Dillashaw prepare for his fights when he was like in his early 20s, and he had a lot of hype behind him. And I think that hype can come back again if he decides to sign with the UFC. And this makes me think the UFC will want him to enter the featherweight division in hopes of creating a rivalry with the champ Ilia Topuria. You got two fighters that are very similar in style. He's so exciting. Powerful punches with slick boxing, but also got phenomenal wrestling in their locker as well. But you need to build him up, I think, if you're going to sign Aaron Pico. He's not fought in a little while. He's not been as active, I think, in recent years. I'd give him Dan Ige to start with. Someone towards the bottom of the rankings. Ige's probably got a similar style to him as well. Okay, Pico's been knocked out before. Dan Ige can crack, and he's capable of knocking anybody out in the division. But if you're Pico, you get past Dan Ige, bit of a gatekeeper for the rankings. You get yourself into the rankings, and then the UFC will give you a top opponent, because it's going to happen. That's how it's going to happen. That's my prediction. What do you guys think? Do you think the UFC should sign Patricio Pitbull and Aaron Pico? Get in the comments section. Get in the chats as well. Smash a like on the video. Because, man, I am excited about the prospect of Aaron Pico coming into the UFC. I'm excited about Pitbull as well. But as we know, we've seen Pitbull's at his best in the Bellator days, right? He's on the back end of his career. Pico, however, he's only 28. Ilia Topuria turned 28 today. Harris says, "Yep, I agree. Pitbull at lightweight, similar to Chandler. Match him up for those entertaining bouts." Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'd like to see him run it back with Chandler. That's another shout. Patchy Mix also looking to leave. UFC should definitely be snapping him up as well. Oh, that's a good shout. Yeah, PFL could very well lose some really good guys here, right? Man, you lose potential signings in Pitbull, Aaron Pico, and Patchy Mix. You got to start looking at your model here, because these guys who have been around the game for quite a while, you're going to need them in your roster to bring eyeballs into your product. But yeah, UFC, come on, snap them up. Let's get a deal done. I want to see Aaron Pico in the UFC this year. I want to see a fight booked up for him ASAP.